Now looking back at it from almost 50 years after 54, what do you think now?
Well, I think what I didn't understand was what I tried to lay out last night in the speech, the whole question of Sisyphus, that, you can make a step forward, like Lenin said, 2 steps forward, then you're going to take a step backward, too. So I think that's what has been made clear to me, that there is a thermidor process after each advance. There's a kind of retreat or a kind of pushback that then for the next generation means they have to take another step and go through the same thing. I knew that we were going to press forward. I mean, I've never doubted that,
Can you say very quickly how the Brown decision particularly has affected you particularly? Has it had an effect on you?
Well, it's made me know, first of all, as I said before, it's made me understand that that the struggle is practicable, and practical, and that it will give results. There will be results. On the other hand, it's made me understand very clearly how there's always resistance, and that resistance is not only direct, but there are all kinds of devious ways that, I mean, I've never seen so many scams, from Americans and from the state itself. But I've never seen so many scams as when they talk about democracy. I mean, the minute they talk about democracy, they also are busy with these kind of lugubrious scams that are going to come up in of all kinds of ways that they're going to try to deceive, at the same time talking mutual democracy, and that's what happens. I mean, the present resident of the White House is, he's another example of that. But I've seen them all have done that. The minute they come to the question of democracy, you're going to hear double talk. And I've learned that earliest with Brown versus the Board of Education. But and then as it went on, as the civil rights movement deepened, and we got involved in some, then certainly we learned all of the kind of the duplicity and deviousness of folks, even the folks who were talking, who supposedly were on our side. That there was always so much scam in it. You always had to sort it out. Some of which had been socialized in them, from years of being socialized by an essentially racist society.
Well, when you first become aware that these scams are going to be run, how do you feel? As you describe it, Brown decision comes down, you're optimistic change can be made, and then these scams occur. What does that say to you?
Well, it says to me that then you have to be, as analytical, you know what I mean? In other words, you have to be slick as the slick. You have to see what is actually going on. You know what I mean?
Do you feel as if you've been taken for granted or taken in some way? You've been tricked?
Not tricked. I thought that I had been that they assumed that I could be tricked. See, that's what I always thought.
Yeah.
It's like my mom always said, they assume that you're slower than you are. You understand? So the question is, when it would happen, you say, oh yeah, I can see that. I see what's happening. You know what I mean? And it taught me that one must always be very precise in evaluating what is going on, no matter what is being said, But I maintain that optimism even today. But it's just that I realize that there are not only deviousness, but actual danger and power that seeks to prevent any real kind of change.